wonderful retreat, the Rise Retreat,
Jai!
It's a historic moment. We have not had a retreat like this in the UK, I would dare to say, perhaps ever. We are expecting more devotees to arrive. There are 400 of us who are going to be gathered here. And we're all from different places. In northwest London, we do have a big contingent here from the Mala. If you're from the Mala, give us a Haribol. If you're from ISKCON London, can you give us a Haribol? If you are in the middle of the country, that means kind of like Leicester, Birmingham, Coventry, those places there always seems to be raining. If you're in the Midlands, give us a Haribol. Still behind the clouds there. If you're north of the Midlands, like Manchester, Scotland, that area, give us a Haribol. If you are not in the mainland of England and you're in that little island called Ireland, is anyone here from Ireland?
Haribol! Island.
And if you're from Europe, because obviously we're not part of Europe anymore. If you're part of mainland Europe, can you give us a Haribol?
अच्छा नहीं था
कोई बात नहीं. Can you put your hands up if this is the first time you're coming to a retreat like this with the Hare Krishna? Good luck, guys. That's amazing. So many of you, half maybe a third of you. So thank you so much for being open-minded and for coming. We're going to have an amazing weekend. We have so much lined up for you. And as you see here, our theme for this retreat really was enliven, educate, and empower. In these 2 or 3 days, we're going to have so much enlivening activities here. We're going to be singing, we're going to be dancing. Do you want to dance?
Yes.
One of my ambitions this weekend is that we all really dance. And we often do a lot of sitting in our movement, but we're going to be dancing as well. So we've got some amazing things in here. It's going to be really enlivening. And we're also just going to get a chance to connect. I'm really just enjoying going around and speaking to people and being with all of you. And I encourage you to do the same. In this room, we have devotees who have done so much in their spiritual journey, they have so much experience, so much realization. Don't think that you're only learning from what you hear in a class, but often the best time you can hear amazing things over a dinner table while you're having a cheesecake. So please take the time to connect with each other, so enliven, and then of course educate. We have some of the most renowned educators of ISKCON here with us this weekend. These are individuals, they say like a honeybee has to fly hundreds of miles and go to hundreds of flowers to connect a few drops of honey. And then after a few drops of nectar, after collating thousands of drops of nectar, they can condense it into a spoonful of honey. And they can then feed you that honey. So these are educators who have been around in this movement for so many years and who have experienced so much and who are so insightful, and they'll be giving us the honey from all of their travels and experiences and sacrifices, and we'll be hearing from them. So it will really be an educational experience. And most importantly, we're not not here just for an educational experience, but for a transformational experience and for an empowering experience. Most individuals, most of us are only using a fraction of our capacity. I was at the dinner table and I was speaking to a couple and I said, we only use, 10% of our brain. And the wife looked at the husband and said, I said, how could you maybe yours? So we're only using a little bit of our potential. We have so much to unleash, so much to contribute. Srila Prabhupada wanted each one of us to be a contributor in this Krishna consciousness movement. I often say that Krishna consciousness is like an ocean, and some people appreciate it from the shores, some people just dip in, some people go into the ocean but they're just on the surface, and then there are rare few who dive deep. So we want to empower you to really dive deep and experience more of what Krishna consciousness can and should be. So yes, this retreat is all about Rise. In the morning we'll be having classes, seminars. In the afternoon we'll be having workshops where we kind of break down into smaller groups and learn more practical things. And then in the evenings we'll be having kirtan and dramas, and in between we'll be having lots of time, and if you really want to, there's also some prashadam, there's some so really take advantage. When we were putting this together, there was no one to do the poster, so I said, all right, I'll do it. Was the poster good? So I was thinking, okay, I'm quickly what poster to go, so I thought Rise, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I just did a Google search and I thought Chaitanya dancing. And the first picture that came up was this picture. And thankfully enough, it was high quality. It was like 1,000 pictures. I can use that. And then, of course, as many of you know, this is a picture of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he goes through the Jarikhanda forest. And it's such a beautiful pastime of the Chaitanya Charitamrita because Mahaprabhu travels through this forest and he's on his way to Vrindavan, but he makes the forest into Vrindavan. The forest is full of so many different creatures, living beings, animals, and often many of them are some have some animosity towards each other. They're very, very different. But somehow Mahaprabhu came through that land, he began to chant, and they just all were rising. They all came up, they rise, they danced, and they connected, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu created Vrindavan right there in the forest, and I thought, wow, maybe Google is God, because that was really the ideal picture to give us for this retreat. So yeah, please meditate and think about this pastime this weekend as we try to rise. So this evening we're just really warming up. How was the Prashadam?
Nice. Good.
Yeah, we can give a round of applause to our team. They come from Manchester, and there's 8 of them who will be cooking for us all the way through, so they're really making a sacrifice, so really appreciate them. So yes, we'll now just invite our speakers. We'll be introducing you to them, just to kind of set the intention, and then we'll have some kirtan this evening. I should, on these slides, we didn't put tomorrow morning schedule, but I do have to remind you that we are starting at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Join the 5 a.m. club. So just be careful, because sometimes the kirtan does have a tendency to go into overdrive and can go on a little longer, and you might find yourself losing yourself in the kirtan, so that's wonderful. But do just keep in mind that we do want you here in the morning. So we'll be having a kirtan this evening, and then tomorrow morning we'll begin at 5 with Mangala Arati, and then we'll have japa, and then we'll be going on from there. Does that sound good? Yeah. Am I missing anything out? Do you have any questions or anything you really want to know? Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guests one by one. Firstly, I'd like to introduce someone to you who's no stranger to all of you. He's someone who has shown me personally so much love and kindness. For me, Srila Prabhupada once said to Hari Saripur, preaching is easy business. All you have to do is show people how happy you are. And that can be quite a challenge actually. But for this personality, it's not a challenge. He's always so kind, always so joyful, always so loving, and always just so present. And he brings us into that energy as he takes us into a journey about connecting with Krishna in the form of his holy names, and just being so much more intentional and sensitive and conscious of everything we're doing in Krishna consciousness. We share the same interests. We're both very, very interested in transformation, and I can guarantee that you'll have a transformational experience with him. So I want you to give a really, 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 really loud Haribol and a hand round of applause, whatever you want to do to welcome His Holiness Satchidananda Maharaj.
Haribo.
We are also blessed.
Haribo.
Okay, I just speak like this. We're also blessed with. Sometimes I think to myself, what was Srila Prabhupada's greatest gift to us? So we could say Srila Prabhupada's temples, definitely. Srila Prabhupada's books, definitely. Srila Prabhupada's initiatives that he launched around the